Hello everybody and welcome back to SaveEarth.us and artofdino.com, and I wanted to show you guys this. Have you seen this yet? If this is true, which it's done and presented in a very realistic scientific paper way, very official, if this is true, this shatters the reality as we know it and will lead normies into the place in the mindset that we have been at for a very long time. These almost look like they found Tartarian-esque Oriental-like structures above or underneath the pyramid, but then above these massive columns, wells, cylinder tubes with a spiral thing around them. And so this is their interpretation of what a millimeter vibrational LiDAR technology basically was. And then below those columns, which are like 600 meters, is another massive structure, a box of some sort, a support structure, which I've always wondered what was underneath the ultimate support structure of a lot of these things. No wonder why that pyramid is perfectly measured out and evenly distributed and just unbelievable in all ways, because it's standing on something massive. And so this brings up a lot. The implications of this are huge. And again, if it's true, you never know what to believe nowadays. But again, this seems like it very well might be, because as you know, people have theorized the pyramids were a power station. Some people theorized it as a weapon, all different kinds of things. So I'm going to show the two PDFs, one from this that they released in 2022, and then another one of people that checked their research, and we'll show that at the end. That's the other PDF. The video is from the Reese report. You can also check that out for a little extended thing. But in general, this is a new thought. This is a new world that we are entering in, where all of us who are this, the ancient people, we know the ancient people are more advanced than us. We know we're pathetic in comparison. Everything we believe is based on a lie. All that stuff, it comes right to the surface, right to the top, and right to the forefront of every single thing that they've been telling us about our history and archaeology. And there's a reason, apparently, why they have been forbidding digging all over Egypt and in all these places. So hopefully this blows the lid off, literally, and allows for more and more research to be done. Because this is, again, mind-boggling. And to be honest, one of my first thoughts was, wow, the religions, the modern religions that... that we talk about, where, there's different messengers of God, people, there's... from 2,000 years ago. How do you kind of rectify that and link that with stuff like this and stuff that we've been thinking, that this world is architected out? This world is so old we can't even fathom it. And to worship, no offense, but to worship someone from 2,000 years ago when you've got history like this of people that were doing magnificent absolute architecture that we can't even fathom, with physical and structural potential that we can't also fathom. How can we justify anything we've been told? And this, again, flies right in the face of what we've all been thinking, that everything we've been told is a lie. And who even knows if, one of the first thoughts that came to my mind was, wow, that pyramid Lego structure of just a bunch of blocks, they've convinced everyone was just a graveyard, an advanced graveyard built by millions of slaves using levees and pulleys. Jesus, terrible. But one of my first thoughts was, wow, they probably made that pyramid, or they assembled that pyramid to cover what was on top. It almost looks like, if you want something to go away, you don't want anything to be seen again or used ever again, you cover it up like this, almost like someone barfs and you throw sawdust on it. But this is a lot more advanced than that. But that's what it seemed like to me, because they've been glorifying a block Lego structure. Meanwhile, underneath it is a spiral cylinders with an actual function and a purpose. That is a whole different ball game. That means that we can't trust anything that we've taught. This clearly was not built by slaves and normal people. This was built by something amazingly advanced and most likely, again, giant built. How are we tiny people going to do this? We've proven in the last several hundred years that we can't build what they do, even with immense technology helping us out. So how can they, this destroys history. It absolutely destroys all the history books, and it's about damn time. And we're going to keep analyzing this. I'm going to keep analyzing this and just seeing where my thoughts take me. But as far as sacred text and stuff is confirmed, like, things from the last 2,000 years go out the window. Things like the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita make a lot more sense now because they talk about hundreds of thousands of years, and they talk about amazing architecture and these different godlike beings that could build things. All these things that were relegated to the form of myth and just fantasy, fairy tale, may have a lot more relevance in truth. And once again, this is just proof, I think, again, that this realm is way bigger. They just trying to confine all this history, even before this discovery, into just a tiny realm on a tiny little ball floating around in space just doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense is, again, the Jainism, the ancient religions, who said this place goes for 6 billion miles wide, 6 billion miles high, and maybe a sphere overall. But who knows? This could all be a creation of some divine being, and this could be what's been hidden. And maybe this stuff, all the mountains we see that are like thrashed. I further believe that those were once things, once structures, once functioning, magical, amazing, incredibly articulate structures, and this blows it off. Cylinders like this, things like this that they didn't get to destroy. And, again, this is just the interpretation, the digital interpretation, very not detailed. Imagine what it really looks like down there. There could be carvings all over all of this. These columns could be like things like in the aquarium when you see the animals going up it. There could have been tons of stuff. It could be geothermal. It could be electrical. It could be ethereal. It could be something magnetic. It could be there's no telling. It could be something on a physical principle that we haven't even come close to fathoming yet. There is so much possibility that now comes out as a result of this. And look at those 5 buildings on the top. Like, what is the purpose of those? Those almost, to be honest, look like pagodas. And if they were, then what does that mean? Is this an ancient Tartarian, Scythian structure, or does it go even further than that, further to anything we've ever even found anything about? There is no way to tell. It is all shattered. All of history that we've known and come to hate and realize is fraudulent is now proven fraudulent. If this is true, again, you can never trust anything you see now that AI is everywhere, but these people seem pretty trustworthy and their way of presenting it is very nice. So check those PDFs. I'll try to include the links below. And again, wow, chime in. I want to hear what you all think about this in the comments below, because this is, again, a supreme revelation. This just makes everything we've been thinking of possible. It's almost the revelation we've all been waiting for in this community, because it makes all of our theoretical thoughts possible. Whereas before, people thought we were crazy. If there's something like this under the pyramids, and the narrative is crushed, and the archaeological puppet masters are going to get their strings cut, because it's time to rewrite everything, and they're going to be looking for people like us to piece things together, who have the imagination and have been thinking about this for a long time. Because again, you have to let this unravel in your head, and when it does, you'll realize more and more of how much it entails, because it is a devastating blow to the disgusting anti-truth narratives that we've been bred, that have kept humanity in the ditch, in a gutter. And it's time to come out and conquer again. And so again, we need to realize our true potential and what humanity did, and what this place that we're on really is all about, because that's where the answers are. That's where the magic lies. When we realize the infinite potential of this near infinite plane, the discoveries are going to come like wildfire. And that's what we need. We need a time of discovery and reality ground shaking, mentality changing, awareness, great awakening beyond anything we could have fathomed. And that will come when we all get information that is new and just clicks with our eternal DNA souls. And so I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'd love to hear what you all think down below. And I've got some more thoughts too I'll share in another video as it comes out, but just wanted to introduce it. There'll be more on this, believe me, because the implications are huge and they're going to keep unraveling. So bless you all. Share this, chime in, and check it out. Let me know what you all think. Bless you all from SaveEarth.us and artofdino.com.